cool. I'm ready.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Eric Beerthaler of Beerthaler Studios. Here once again, back for the next episode of Sit Down by the Fire. I'm here with my next special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Forte. I'm from Forte Films Entertainment. I do projects with my older brother. I write, direct, and act in my projects. And I'm going to be working on other horror-related things in the near future.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And how about that you tell us all about your production company?
Okay, so I started this back in 2006, actually, when I went to film school. And it was actually called Forte Films but they had to change it because, hey, something was called Forte Films already.
Right.
My first project was called The Appointment, which I directed and written. The little trivia here, one of the people who worked on my film actually was Chadwick Boseman, who played later on the Black Panther.
Oh,
Unfortunately, no longer with us. We would have saved film school together, so he's actually has a scene in my film, and he actually was my DP. So I guess now I have a memory of him. That was back in 2006. Then after that, I did a few other projects. Then got my older brother involved. He started helping me out, and we decided to do this thing together. Go as Forte Films Entertainment. We did a web series called The Sid Reapers. We still want to continue that one, but just budget's always an issue. We did a few more, some vampire projects, a little zombie projects, but hopefully me and my brother are gonna come back strong and just get things done hopefully by next year. But also I just have other ideas to do. Like one of the things I want to do is something I've been writing for about 2 years, but something I created since I was a kid. Called the Five Pumpkins, about this rock band that has its power to fight demons on the night of Halloween. So I want to see if I could turn that into like a graphic novel or something.
right. Awesome. Yeah. I can definitely imagine that would be pretty awesome, like to turn it into like a graphic novel. Talk about talk about like I wow. That's awesome. Like knowing that you went to film school, like with somebody who went on to be the Black Panther.
Yeah, and being billion-dollar films like the Avengers Endgame, and what I heard about his passing back in 2020, that struck me. Like I went to film school. This guy, he's in my project. He had a scene in it, and then all of a sudden, poof, he's dead. And I wanted to see him again, and now I won't get that chance right now. But at least I have something to remember him, not just the films he's done, but the project and the times we were in film school from in 2006 in that fall.
Yeah. So now that you mentioned that, when you two, when you two were at film school with each other, like, did you two like, uh, did you two like hang out a lot, or what?
Not really. I mean, mostly on working on the project stuff. I worked on his project he did with because he wanted to do directing. He did this short film called Blood Over a Broken Pond in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Then he worked on mine, and then he actually came back just to come back to do a scene. And he didn't have to. He could just say, "Oh, I'm done." But he was like, "No, no, no, no. I'll help you out." He was a very cool guy, and I wish we did hang out more. We did chat sometimes over the phone, but things got big for him. And, I'm not gonna be upset like, "Oh yeah, he's not connecting no more." But he made it. So I do precious those ties. That I worked on his project, and he worked on mine.
Yeah, which I can only imagine just how you feel knowing that you worked with somebody like who eventually went on to go on to make it big.
Who wanted to be in the Marvel movies and played T'Challa in Black Panther, which is one of the biggest movies that there is. So he definitely had a future. I saw it the first time we did the 43 movie, and I was like, oh, he made it. He made it. He was working with Harrison Ford, and he's played Jackie Robinson. So he made it.
Oh yeah,
And
certainly.
He would have played James Brown after that.
Yeah, and from what I heard, he was supposed to be a Black Panther too, but due to the unfortunate circumstances, they were forced to change like the entire plot of the movie. I still haven't seen Black Panther 2.
It's good, but it's not replacement as the first one. The first one, it's just that you saw him in that, and then you saw him in two other Avengers movies, but we all know he started in Captain America: Civil War, and just like when the next film comes out, I'm glad that they get nobody else play him because that would look stupid. But
Certainly.
it just didn't have the same magic. I mean, like I said, the film's well acted. It's a good movie, but it just doesn't have the magic that the first film had, or those other films that he was in.
Oh yeah, I mean, certainly so. And I mean, knowing that they were put in a very delicate situation, like when he passed away, and they weren't expecting that, and so yeah, and so they had to choose either do we recast him, considering that the Marvel movies actually have done recasting before, so yeah, and so there were some people saying that they were just going to recast him, but a lot of people will say that the route that go was the better route.
No, recasting him would have been like recasting someone else to play Heath Ledger's Joker because he was supposed to be in The Dark Knight Rises, but of course, he died before the movie he was in came out. That's like, no, there's just some actors you just cannot recast, and him and along with Chadwick were unrecastable because that was their role. So they did the right thing, just kill off the character or just say something happened to him. But to recast him, no, that's what it. That's like if something happened to Michael Keaton, which I'm glad nothing's happened to Michael Keaton. Got okay, let's get someone else to play Beetlejuice. Like, no,
Nope.
don't even think about it. No, I don't want to see that.
Oh yeah, certainly not. So yeah, so I can tell that you're a big horror movie fan, and so would you have a favorite horror film?
I have two favorite horror films actually, two of them, and they're both part threes. One everybody knows who knows me knows. I have this Freddy Krueger addiction, and my favorite of the films is A Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors. So, I mean, I saw the first one before that, but part two is just phenomenal. And
Mhm.
then what is Day of the Dead? I know some people favor over, like I know most people favor over Dawn of the Dead, but something about Day of the Dead being this more serious tone, introducing the first zombie with intelligence, which is Bub, Captain Rhodes being the badass that he is, and it's just that death scene he had is just so memorable.
Oh yeah.
Um, those two are my favorites. So I just tell someone says like, "You do you have a favorite?" I said I have two. They're both part threes, Nightmare 3 and Day of the Dead. Those are my two favorite horror movies of all time. And I met Robert Englund multiple times. In fact, I recently met him 2 months ago back at Monster Mania. So I met him been for years. I've only met the guy who played Captain Rhodes once, Joseph Pilato, back in 1999 while I was still a teenager. Fortunately, he's gone too, which sucks.
Yeah, that it
uh,
does.
I did met George Romero also, but she's gone
Yeah,
too. That sucks.
that it does. And I mean, just an eerie coincidence is that knowing that George Romero and Toby Hooper both died the exact same year.
Oh man, that's a major loss right there. I remember when Romero died because it was in July, and they showed a screening of Dawn of the Dead in the theater, and Richard Rubenstein was there presenting it. It was me and my brothers. We saw the film, and then the next day I was checking like George Romero's dead is a joke, right? I just saw Dawn of the Dead yesterday. It was everywhere. George Romero passed away, and then me and my brothers like say, "Yo, we just watched Dawn of the Dead in the theaters, and now he's gone." Like, no, 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 no. But yeah, I still got a picture with him from back in 2010. When I met him at Saturday Nightmares. So at least I have a memory. I can say, "Hey, I met George Romero before he left."
Oh yeah, I mean, certainly so. And I mean, especially considering that there are people who unfortunately never got to have that chance.
No, I mean, I'm sad to say I never met Toby Hooper. I never got a chance to meet him. I'm a fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist, of course, Texas too, and of course I got a where is it? Leatherface tattoo somewhere on me, and of course the next few days from now is going to be the 50th anniversary of the series. But yeah, I had never met him. Or who's the other one that died? He played Leatherface. Man. How do I
Are you
know?
talking about? I believe that you're talking about. I believe like that you're talking about Gunnar Hansen.
Gonna have to. I never got a chance to meet him. When I was about to meet him, his line was full because I wanted to show my new tattoo. It's like, oh great, the line's full. So next time, what happened? He died. But I still, but we still got the films to remember these guys. They may be gone, but the legacies are always going to keep carrying on. It's going to pass on to the next generation to one generation. Because I'm seeing kids right now wearing Friday the 13th shirts, and we haven't had a Friday the 13th film in almost 14 years. So that's the power of Jason. That's the power of horror. That hey, he hasn't had a movie in almost no, it has been past 14 years, 15 years. We're gonna be going on for over 15 years. We have not had a Friday the 13th movie. Next year we're going to 16 years. But we have Friday the 13th, the game. We have these fan films. So yeah, Jason's Lexi's still here. There's supposed to be a show coming out, the Crystal Lake show by A24. So I guess we'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah, certainly so. And I feel like that's why all these Jason fan films like have been getting so much attention is because that is the closest that we can get as of now. And I mean, mostly it's because of all like the legal issues that have been happening behind the scenes of Friday the 13th, which is why that's taken so long for there to be a new movie. And it's a real shame that we didn't get to have a new movie in 2013 because I mean that just screams perfect.
It is because it's the thing though. When we did the 80s, we had 8 Friday the 13th movies. The 90s, unfortunately, we only got one, which was Jason Goes to Hell. And the 2000s, we had 3. We had Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, and a remake. We have not had one Friday the 13th movie in the 2010s.
That's a shame.
We had fan films, we had a video game, and now we're in the mid 2020s. Nothing. So
yeah, and well, I mean, in the 2010s, there was almost that second remake that was gonna have Jason's father in it, but then that got canceled.
That was Paramount's fault. Paramount's the reason why we haven't even got a new one because they had for 5 years to do a Friday the 13th movie from 2013 to 2018, but they got cold feet due to the box office failure of Riggs. They said, let's cancel it. It's like, wow, you had 5 years to do a Friday the 13th movie because Warner was nice to you to have that. And thanks to you guys, the lawsuit came in and like, okay, no Friday the 13th stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just really, really frustrating for all these Friday the 13th fans. And I feel like that because there hasn't been a film in so long, which is why that fans like are so hungry for a new movie.
A 13th movie.
Exactly.
That would have been a perfect number. 13. Hey, it would have been perfect if next year was the 45th anniversary, which it is. Okay, we get Friday the 13th. Nope.
I mean, it's a real shame. And yeah, you mentioned the third Nightmare on Elm Street. Back in 2013, actually, I actually got to meet one of the actors from it. I actually got to meet, what's his name? The one who plays Kindred. I actually got to meet Ken.
Which one? The guy play who?
Sagos.
Ken Sagos? Something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, Ronald Kincaid.
Yep.
Never got a chance to meet him yet. There's still a few people I still got to meet, and I would like to meet him. Be nice to definitely meet Patricia Arquette. But of course, we know she stepped down to play the character again in the fourth film. That went to Tuesday night. Because word was, they said she didn't get along with somebody from the other film, or her career got bigger. I don't know. It's one story. It's one story to another.
Yeah, and I mean, either way, history is history, and she didn't reprise her role like for the fourth movie, and it is what it is. And but yeah, when I met Ken, I actually did ask him, so how did you feel when they killed off your character in Part 4? He said that he hated it.
Okay, I agree. Okay, and here's the thing that I always said. I always liked Nightmare 4, but this is something I've always said. Okay, so when they did so he had three warriors to fish off. Unfortunately, he killed Kincaid. as making the trope as the black guy goes first.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the new kids. He kills Sheila, who was black. I'm like, oh, come on, Freddy. You could have killed Rick first or Debbie. I don't know. Wait, okay. We saved Debbie last because that cockroach scene was marvelous. Save
Yeah.
that last. Save the best. But Rick's death was terrible because they had no budget. He gets killed by air, and Freddy's glove just goes in with that karate sack. Wow. You didn't even need Robert England here.
Yeah, certainly, and yeah, and that's a very common criticism that I've heard of a Nightmare on Elm Street before is that all the likable characters in Part Three, they just decide to kill them off, and people even complain about how it was a dog piece like they ended up bringing back.
that that
Freddy
that
Krueger.
that made no sense. So okay, Freddy comes back by dog piss. Can you just have Freddy just come back because Christian just kept stirring him up again, and because of that, he finally rises. Oh no, his dog, which was named Jason, pisses on the ground that he was buried and he comes back. I mean, the scene was cool how he came back together and he comes at a nice, good camera work in the shadow. And he says, "You should have buried me. I'm not dead." But dog piss. But the scenes he usually comes back in movies don't make any sense, which that only happened in about two Nightmare films. Because in part two, after that, he's just there on the bus. Part three, we see him at the opening going after Christian. In part four, we get to see him come back, and then part five, he comes back because he's baby Freddy. He just screams like, "Ah!" Like he comes back from that. I mean, I prefer that. Okay, I will prefer that better. If Freddy's dead, that we just see him appear and he's on the broom, say, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too." I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Freddy's dead. It's a guilty pleasure. More, I like it. Plus, it was the first Nightmare on Elm Street film I saw in theaters. It's the first one I saw in 3D. But the funny thing is, when I saw Freddy's Dead with my brothers and my father, we actually saw the end of the film first because we came in at the end like, oh, we just saw Freddy's death. Should we watch the rest of this movie? We said, well, why not? We're here.
Yeah, I mean, might as well at that point. And yeah, and I mean, I totally do get why people don't like Freddy's Dead
Yeah, why they
because
don't like it. I don't argue with nobody. I argue with nobody who does not like Freddy's Dead. My older brother doesn't like Freddy's Dead. I have there's issues with it. It feels like a PG-13 nightmare film. It's too cartoony. Freddy they turned to a clown. He gets kicked in the balls and it hurts. And I'm like, dude, um, Alice whooped your ass in part four, and you just laughing. Now you get kicked in the nuts. You're like, oh god, it hurts. He gets his ass kicked easily in this film. Like, okay, and you come back by three flying sperm-looking worm things. That kind of kills the mystery, and you kind of made Freddy look like he has like something there, like he does have a kind spot to him with his daughter. Like, yo, this guy's pure evil. Freddy should have no careness for anybody. The guy's a user and will kill you. He's pure evil like Michael Myers. He's not like torturous a soul like Jason Voorhees. Jason just kills because you're in his wilderness. He sees you as a reminder of the death of his mother. Freddy just kills you because he's Freddy. He loves it. He loves to kill. But oh no, he has a daughter. He cares. Where did his daughter come from? And they say, oh, he kills because they took his daughter away from him. I'm like, no. You're adding too much stuff. I mean, I'm not getting me wrong. I prefer that better than that crap Halloween 6, the Curse of Michael Myers.
Myers, yeah.
What the heck was that? And then the producer's cut makes it worse, even though I think the producer's cut is a better version than the theatrical one. But you have Michael Myers violate his teen niece to get the baby? Like, ugh. Wow,
Yeah.
you just turned my boy to a pedo. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people have complained about that and Halloween 6, and I get it, it's cringe. But as far as Freddy Dead goes, I'm not gonna lie, it's a guilty pleasure for me as well. It's like I know I should hate that movie, but I'm sorry, I am entertained by it.
Yeah, so am I. It's silly entertainment. It's silly, it's stupid, but it's fun at the same time. It was my first Nightmare in theaters. Yes, the 3D was only the last 13 minutes of it, and it's the blue and green, but it was my first 3D movie. It was a nice, cool scene. Freddy's face fly out when he was exploded. Although the film still, in a way, Freddy's Dead is kind of actually is the final nightmare if you think about it. Because yes, there's Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but that's not Freddy in that movie. That's a demonic entity in the form of Freddy. So that's what people keep forgetting. People keep forgetting, like, okay, you talk about Halloween 3, that there's no Michael Myers in it, but you got to understand, hey, they're doing an anthology thing. The idea was to get rid of Michael Myers in part 2 and do this Halloween season anthology. So no Michael Myers. And then you got Friday 13th Part 5 New Beginning. You don't get Jason. You get a copycat in there, a vengeful man whose son got killed. But people understand, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, that's not Freddy. That is a demonic entity that's taken his likeness and his attitude. And it's one of the most beloved Nightmare Street films, but that's not Freddy Krueger. It's a demonic entity. So people can't complain like, oh, there's no Jason in that film. There's no Michael in that film. That's not Freddy. And then in Freddy versus Jason, that's a Freddy and Jason, that's a Freddy and Friday crossover. And then we got that god awful remake.
Yeah, the one from 2010, which that is the only Freddy movie that I have seen at the theater, and and just like Friday the 13th, there hasn't been a new movie ever since then.
That's true. There hasn't been. But the thing, let's be honest. As much as King Hodder is the man as Jason Voorhees, I guess you could get another guy to play the hockey mask, even though it's not going to be the same, because even though White Stormframe is Jason and Ken Jones played him, he's good. He ain't King Hodder. But can we actually see once again somebody donning the glove and the striped sweater that's not Robert Englund?
Oh yeah, certainly so. And according to rumor, I heard that Jason Blum, like from Blumhouse, wants to reboot A Nightmare on Elm Street, and he wants to bring back Robert Englund. I'm like, you could do it, but you just really got to be considerate, like, of Robert's health, because I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I mean, you do have to keep his age in mind.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I'm not going to lie. I'm very upset with Blumhouse now these days with these. They used to be a company that gives these nice small filmmakers a chance and to make these movies. Okay, so you took the Halloween franchise. Okay, that's no problem. I liked Halloween 2018, although now we think it's kind of weird to call it 2018 because it's now 3 Halloween films. It's called Halloween 78, 2007, and 2018. But then you got Halloween Kills. I don't hate Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is dumb, entertaining fun, but it's at the same time stupid. But there's good joy. But at Halloween Ends, oh my god, Halloween Ends was just a bad version of Prestige meets Joker. That's all it was. Like, okay, you got a guy who's beaten by society. Okay, he descends into madness by running into Michael Myers in the sewer, and he doesn't even kill anybody that's good, really. Most people were awful who got it. So, and then Michael had no dignity. He got his ass kicked out clean by a man who was beaten by a bunch of teenage band camp guys. And I don't hear, oh, Michael Myers is 65 years old. What happened to the more he kills, the more he transcends? He should be like Popeye. It's like, no. But he gets his ass whooped bad. That movie sucked. I'm sorry. If you like how it ends, I have no problem with that. Everybody should be entitled to like what they like. I have no problem with that. I won't make fun of you of it. But don't say that I'm not a Halloween fan because I think that film is the worst Halloween film ever made. I'm sorry. And then Blumhouse does The Exorcist. Universal actually spends $400 million to get the franchise rights to a film franchise that only had one hit movie, and that was way back in 1973. As much as I like The Exorcist 3, I can't deny the lie that the film was a box office flop.
Yep.
So, that was. There have been 5 Exorcist movies before that because Part 4 had 2 different versions. The beginning and then another cut called Dominion. Both films suck. But the Exorcist Believer, oh my god, that was dreadful. That was terrible. So I hope that Mike Flanagan does do good with this next one because I do like his films. Hush was very awesome. I definitely like Doctor Sleep. So maybe he'll skip something because I'm sorry, keep David Gordon Green away from these people, these films. And I don't want Blumhouse to have Nightmare on Elm Street because it's just gonna be nostalgic bait this and that, which I am tired of seeing in these legacy movies with the nostalgia bait thing. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of the new Ghostbusters movies because it's nostalgia bait this. What they tell me is like, watch part one. That's it. Because all you're doing is showing part one. I'm sorry, no. I don't hate Afterlife. Afterlife is okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of Frozen Empire, although it was better than that 2016 remake.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't ever seen the 2016 Ghostbusters. From what I heard from a lot of people really were not fans of it.
It was crap. I'm sorry. When I saw it in theaters, I was like, it was okay. But then I watch it again, like, wow, this is shit. And I'm not the person who said, like, it's crap because it's for females. I thought, okay, for females, that's a good idea. Females, women could be Ghostbusters. It's just that the script was bad. The jokes were not funny. It just didn't connect well. No, I'm sorry. It's not because of four females for me. It's just because so that could have been four dudes and the film could have sucked.
Yeah, and that a lot more people wanted like a proper Ghostbusters sequel. Nobody really wanted like a Ghostbusters reboot, and
No.
so yeah. So I think that that's one of the reasons why that it didn't do that very well.
Well, that and because here's the thing. Let's be honest. One of the Ghostbusters is no longer with us no more. The one of the creators, Hal Ramis,
Excuse
he's
me.
no longer with us.
Yeah,
But
and didn't his son or didn't like the son of the original director direct Afterlife?
yes, Jason Reitman, I think his name is. And all he did was just take pieces of his father's movie and made it into that. It's like, dude, no nostalgia, babe. That's the problem with movies. They just do way too much nostalgia. Like you put Sabo in your films, just remind me too much of, okay, I'm just gonna watch the first film. That's it. But even as those films are, the worst remake I've seen so far was The Crow. Oh my God. What did they do to Eric Draven in that movie? Oh, I forgot he's Eric. I think it was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that new Crow, but from what I can tell, a lot of people definitely were not really big fans of his new look.
He looks like Jared Leto's Joker. And that, like, no, I don't want that. And then people can say, gee, we're the horror community. We're supposed to like tattoos. How can we get clay? That's because the character has no tattoos. And I said that's because that. And his tattoos don't make no sense. They're even worse than Jared Leto's Joker because this one just puts anything. He has a tattoo that says lullaby on his eyebrow. I said, wow, that's worse than damage. How do you be worse than damage? He has lullaby. He has a tattoo in his hand that says cry now, cry later. Like, you turn my boy to an emo moron. Like, how do you get a guy like Bill Skarsgård? You turn him into a wimp. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil. I mean, I should because who's gonna watch this film? But just respectful. If they want to see the pain for themselves, that's fine.
Yeah. So checking out your IMDb, you've done a lot of short films, and you also did a TV series called like the Sin Reapers, and yeah, I actually got curious and I actually checked out the Sin Reapers, and so I was just wanting to know what your experience was like making all those films.
Well, it was the first experience when I went to film school. It did that and just know, okay, I got a crew, I got a camera. Because the thing is, I always wanted to do something horror. I just didn't know being a director was it. I always wanted to do makeup artists because I like Tom Savini's makeup or KNB. That's okay. Let me go. I'm a storyteller. Let me just see if I can do it as a filmmaker. And that was just a great experience. And I'm not gonna lie, it was also a trouble experience because when actors drop out, you get to find another actor, or something goes wrong with the equipment, delayment stuff happens. So it was a surreal experience, but I knew I could do it again. The film I did, it was years after that because things didn't work out with other things. So I did a short film, tribute short film to Nosferatu called Orlok, which I did with my with my ex best friend. I don't want to even talk about him right now, but we did this project. I still like the marriage, even though the person he turned out to be was not good. But I still enjoy doing all, and I still want to do a sequel to that story to continue it. I did even an old black and white silent film, no talking, just the music played on. Did a film about a killer clown. Um, then after that, I did a project that I never released it back in 2013 because I just did not like how it was going. I didn't feel like myself doing it. I just felt like everyone's taking under control. And that's probably one of the reasons I'm trying my best to get over collaborating with people because I feel like if I do something, they want to take over control of my thing. And that film did stress me out, that project, to the point like I was actually wanting to stop. My older brother says, no, you can take a break. So I did. I did the Sid Reapers. I let him direct it. I wrote it, and I even starred it as the character I created, Jared Scribb. And I had two different actresses play Scribb's love interest, Pandora. Um, the new one is I had one in named Erica Hammond, but she had to drop out because she was doing her own thing. And then one who I still work with, Angie Hansen, she's definitely doing great to roll the character. And I want to do this whole thing again, but also have other ideas. I did a vampire short called I went back into directing called Vampire's Heartbreak. And I even played a vampire that a manic vampire who gets upset with things that doesn't go his way. And now I've been writing this story called The Five Pumpkins, which that's gonna take me a graphic novel because I did like 8 chapters, but altogether it's like over 300 pages. So it's like, okay, there's no way I can turn this to a movie right now. So I said it could either be a graphic novel or a possibility if I show it to like Netflix or Screenbox, something like that. Hey, make it to an anime series. After all, we need some more bloody anime series after all.
Oh yeah, certainly so. And I mean, and like as far as like the Warlock thing, it makes sense that you would take advantage of that, since that Nosferatu is actually in the public domain. And so
Sure.
yeah, so anybody can do anything they want, like with Nosferatu.
That and Night of the Living Dead because George Romero didn't get a chance to copyright it. But
Yeah,
I would, but I would never ruin his legacy. I'd be like, no, that's his. Let him, because I've seen a lot of. I ain't gonna lie. There's only been one good thing of Night of the Living Dead that came after that. And that was the Tom Savini remake. Every other Night of the Living Dead project, I'm not gonna say right now. Okay, they suck. They're terrible. No.
yeah, yeah. I did see the one like that had Sid Haig in it, and and
That was a
I
joke.
I mean, I do admire all the hard work they put into it, but I just feel like that it just didn't, match up to the, like it. I mean, it definitely doesn't beat the original.
No, it's like I say. I'm glad these people want to become filmmakers. They want to do things, but you're doing something that belongs to Romero, and then you put Sid Haig in it, and it didn't come out right. And there was one Not Living Dead film. Sid Haig was in it for just like a few minutes. It's called Nemesis: Nights of the Living Dead, and it's about these people that wake up from after convention and they're in this house, and then like they see a bunch of zombies coming in, but then you realize these are Night of the Dead fans dressed as zombies attacking people. So, hey, that's a good idea, making a snuff film of using Night of the Dead, but it just wasn't executed well. It was
Oh
better.
yeah.
It was better than Night of the Dead 3D. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I mean, it was an idea. It was actually a cool idea, but a cool idea has to be executed well. It doesn't have to
Oh
be.
yeah.
I'm not looking for Oscar. I'm not looking for an Oscar piece. I'm just looking for something that go, okay, that's good. You know what? You did something there. That's good, or at least entertaining. But they tried. You know what? I'm not going to tell anybody to give up on what they want to do if you do a faulty project or something like that. I mean, as much as I want David Gordon Green to stay away from the legacy horror films, I still don't want him to not make films. Make your own horror film. Ruin that one.
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, though, all these filmmakers, they also are humans too, and people
Mhm.
aren't always gonna be perfect.
No, because I have never seen a lot of cool fan films. The Never Hike Alone films. The Never Hike films with the Friday 13s. Those I liked it all three of them.
Oh yeah,
I liked it all.
certainly, yeah.
I liked all three of them. I like the fact that it got Tom Matthews back because I think he's underrated. He's actually a good actor. Of course, we remember him from either his Tommy Jarvis role from Friday the Part 6, Jason Lives,
Excuse
or
me.
his as Freddy in The Return of the Living Dead. That he kind of reprised that back in The Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which, it was just called Joey. It was just the same motive, guys. 245 trucks, tried to attack girlfriend. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wasn't he in Never Hike Alone, or was he in some other franchise?
no. He was in all three of those. He was in Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow, and then it's called Never Hike Alone 2 or something like that. Yeah, he was in all three of them. So he was at the end of the Never Hike Alone one, the first one, and then he was mostly throughout the other ones. So it was great seeing him again as Tommy Jarvis. I mean, people say they want to see Corey Feldman back in that film, but let's see, Corey Feldman is early Tommy Jarvis. But we think of adult Tommy, we think of Tom Matthews. And nothing personal to Corey Feldman. I wonder how you can explain a 6'2" man grows down to 5'5". So it's not happening.
Yeah, and I mean, an idea, it sounds cool. I like to have Corey back as Tommy Jarvis. And I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not sure what else that he really has been doing.
he's been singing. He's been singing. You see the video? He's using his band, and if you want some funny entertainment, just watch his band. I think it's called the Corey Feldman Experience. I'm not sure, but any music thing you find YouTube, you type Corey Feldman, he can't sing. He can't sing. He can't play. But you just cannot turn away from him. It's like, you're so bad, but I can't turn away from you. It's like, well, at least he's doing something, right?
Yeah.
He's doing something. But I'm not gonna lie, I actually really miss Corey Haim. When he passed, I was like, oh man, that sucks. Especially the tragedy life he had. Yeah, it'd be nice if Corey Haim was still here. But yeah, it's been like almost 15 years since he's passed. So I was like, that's a big loss. He was like, I think he was only 39 or something like that. 39, 38.
Wow, only 39?
Yeah, he was like 39, 38. I don't know if even his birthday came yet when he died. I don't remember, but he was in his late 30s. He never made it to 40.
That's a shame.
It is. It's a damn shame. He to me, I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna tell me who's the better Corey, he was. Who's the better actor? He was.
Yeah, and I mean, that's all just a matter of opinion, which is fine because everybody can have their opinions. But yeah, and I mean, as far as what I've seen what Corey Feldman's been doing, I've seen that he's been really doing like a lot of horror con, like as of recent times.
I mean, I've seen his line. His line is huge because this is a guy who's in Lost Boys, Friday the Part 4, Friday the Part 5. Of course, his 80s stuff, License to Drive. The Goonies alone is like, okay, I gotta meet the guy who played Mouth. The Burb. I mean, he's definitely got a list there. So he can't sing, but but I would I go to his concert just an experience. Yeah, I would. It's just if you just watch on YouTube, I'm sorry. It's like, wow, you're bad, but I can't turn away.
Yeah, certainly, and yeah, and I mean, knowing that Corey Feldman has touched the hearts of millions of people all throughout the world with his movies, and I mean, I can only imagine that that's something like that he's definitely very happy about.
Oh, he's very happy. Oh yeah, I forgot Gremlins also.
Yep.
You can't forget that Gremlins also. So yeah, he's definitely he's a legend.
Oh yeah, certainly so. And from what I heard, he was supposed to have a bigger role in Friday the 13th Part 5, but he was really busy doing the Goonies at that time. And so he didn't really have a whole lot of time. So what they did, they actually filmed that in his front yard.
Yes, they did. Because they had to do it one night. It was a rain machine. They said, okay, we don't have time. We got to do this in Corey's house. We're going to go to this front yard or backyard. What I say? They built this fake tombstones. They did all that in one night. And
yeah, and I mean, knowing that they did that all in one night, knowing that they got as much as they could with the time constraints that Corey had. I mean, that's insane.
It's because he's one of the leads in Goonies, and like we gotta do this quickly in one night, and you can think is you can tell that Corey is passionate. Even still this day, he's passionate about playing Tommy Jarvis again. It's just that if you're gonna tell me if I want to see it as adult Tommy Jarvis, it's always gonna be Tom Matthews. He's adult Tommy Jarvis to me. He knocked it out in Jason Lives, and all the short films he has done, and him even making an appearance in Friday 13th the game. So to me, it's always gonna be Tom Matthews as adult Tommy. That's always gonna happen.
Which is pretty awesome. So, curiosity, what were your thoughts on the guy who played him in Part 5?
He was good too. John Shepard was good. In fact, he actually went inside a mental hospital to learn how to play characters with mental conditions. So he did dedication, even though he was not a big fan of horror films. He didn't want to do this film. But his friend said, go do it, because he had very strong Christian beliefs. And you're doing a Friday 13th movie that has sex, nudity, dope. And like, okay, but he was still good as Tommy Jarvis. I think he's underrated.
Oh, yeah. Certainly so. And yeah, and I heard that that's why that he didn't do Part 6, which is why that they had to cast him like with Tom Matthews. But, hey, I mean, one of the cool things I've heard about John Shepard is that John Shepard actually that nowadays John Shepard actually will do horror films now.
Yeah, he's done a few, which like I said, because remember Betsy Palmer didn't want to do the first Friday 13th film.
Yep.
But he needed a car. Because the car broke down. They paid her, like, I think it was $10,000. And she said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And she said, nobody's going to see this piece of junk. And what happened? I think if the film that became the Friday 13th knockoff blew up.
Yep.
Blew up.
Yep. And then little did she know, Friday the 13th would go on to be one of the movies that she's best known for.
Exactly. Her role as Pamela Voorhees, although she was called Mrs. Voorhees, she was not named Pamela until Part 4. We saw her tombstone, which every time I see that scene with her tombstone, it says she died in 1979. I'm like, no. Part 1 was set in 1980. It says there present day, because his thing is, if you call that, say that's 1979, then why is the film called Friday 13th? Because June 13th of 1979 was on a Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. It does not make sense. And people even pointed out in Part 2, so how exactly did Jason get down to Alice's home?
You mean how he grew up and just so quickly?
Yeah, that. And just like, yeah, and just like, yeah, like it's just going, okay, how exactly did Jason even get down there?
That's true. I mean, but here's the thing that always was bothered. So Jason is according to the films, he swam the shore. It's supposed to look like he drowned. You mean this kid is going, I need to get to my mom's house. He just stayed in the wilderness going, okay, I'm going to eat some tigers and bears. Okay, so you never not once go know that you survived your drowning, know that your mother's crazy looking for you. You didn't find a way to go back home. Yes, okay, you're born deformed. But come on, somebody's gonna go like, okay, this is the kid who drowned. Let's go bring him back to his mother. Nope. But if we did that, we would have had no movie. So can't fault that. I mean, every movie has something to go like, okay, if they did that. So without those things, we wouldn't have a movie. So okay, I'm not mad at you. The thing I just want to know is how did Jason find Alice? Did he go to phone book? Did he go like, okay, this is the guy woman who killed my mother. Let's see where she lives. Oh, yeah. That's what. Like, how did you find her? And okay, you just did that. You just do that. So the Friday the film has a weird timeline because I think this is the reason why they changed it to 1979. Because Part 2, 3, and 4 are back to back. They go one day after the other. And remember Part 2, they said it was 5 years since that incident happened. So Friday the 13th Part 4, which came out in 1984, and that's 5 years later, that is 1979. But you can't fool the true horror fans going, the first film was set in 1980, present day. That was when actually a Friday 13th day happened because 1980 was a leap year. Yeah. If this is 1979, then why call the film Friday 13th when it was on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
It didn't say July 13th. It said June 13th, present day. And you got people confused, like, oh, the first film said 1989. Like, no, it's not. Friday 13 has one of the most weirdest, messed up timelines ever seen, along with the X-Men franchise.
Oh yeah, certainly, and yeah, matter of fact, even during the documentary, his name was Jason.
Yes, that came out 2009. Yes, around when the remake came out.
Yeah, but yeah, somebody even actually pointed that out about Friday, like about Friday Part Two, and even about Friday Part Three. Like how someone said, yeah, technically it's Saturday the 14th, but just don't tell anybody. And how somebody even pointed out how, okay, how exactly did Jason even get down there for like to kill Alice? And yeah,
That's the thing. How he hitchhike with a burlap sack on? And the funny thing is, you know the guy who directed Jason Goes to Hell, Adam Marcus.
yeah.
Okay, so he says, how does Jason get to there? And does also I go, okay, I can understand that, but at the same time, you can't talk. In Jason Goes to Hell, you have the news showing dead bodies. The news does not show dead bodies. So you can't talk how you travel to do this stuff when your film has so much flaws that it's crazy.
Huh.
Show dead bodies on the news. You know how much trouble you'll be. They showed the body of Kate Harder because Kate Harder played one of those security guard guys. They showed him dead. Like, you're not gonna get on TV with dead bodies on the news. So you can't talk. Though your film's full of cheesy holes and things don't make any sense, especially in that film. Creighton Duke said Jason had a sister, his girlfriend, Jonathan LeMay's character's girlfriend, Diana. Like, okay, that would make sense if Pamela said Jason was her only son. She said that Jason was her only child. Then he got people out there saying, oh no, that's his half sister. No, Creighton Duke said Jason had a sister. He didn't say half. Hell, even Adam Marcus said that was his full blooded sister. So it's like, how does where did Diana come from?
Yeah.
But then again, Jason Goes to Hell doesn't even continue after Jason takes Manhattan. It's like, okay, the whole body hopping nonsense is not Friday 13th. That's why I have all the Friday 13th films. I said, I don't hate any Friday 13th film. I find this film to be something. It is dear to me because it's the first film I saw in theaters that was R-rated by myself with my brothers and no parents. But at the same time, it was the first one I saw that was heckled. Everybody said, "Where's Jason? What is this? What's with the Book of Necromonica?" And then he's going to say, like, "Oh yeah, Jason's a deadite." Really? Then how come he doesn't say, "Join us"? How come he doesn't act manic? He's not a deadite. He's just a person who got struck by lightning and just came back to life. He doesn't act like a deadite. The book is just there just because it's just put in there just to say, hey, the Book of Necromonica, some type of demon thing that the Voorhees family worship the demons. You've had the crates in Creep Show. So does that make you part of the Creep Show world? No, you don't have permission to say, yeah, I'm part of Evil Dead films because you put the book in there. So that means They Live is part of the Ghostbusters because they had a PKE meter in that film. So the Suburban Commando. So is that part of Ghostbusters?
Yeah, like I even heard one fan theory like that went that Lion King like at Planet of the Apes like are set in the same timeline, and I even heard one saying how Kevin from Home Alone actually grew up to be Jigsaw.
Yeah, Kevin McAllister actually grew up to become Jonathan Kramer. It's so little time. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, that's why that I don't buy into that fan theory. I mean, so what? Kevin was a kid in the 1990s, and then they confirmed that Jigsaw was in his 50s when he died in Saw 3. So yeah, so logically there was no way that could happen.
No, you mean to tell me if a film that came out 1990 and then 14 years later we got the other one, Kevin would be 20. Okay, the character age in the first film was 8. And he was 2. He was 10 in part 2. So he would be 22 years old, although that man looks like he's a man in his 60s. Amazing. Growth spurt? I don't know. But then again, we live in a world where people think that the guy who played Paul in Wonder Years grew up to be Marilyn Manson.
I actually, I actually never even heard that one. So that one really intrigues me.
Yeah, people actually thought that Paul, I forgot his last name was, Josh something who played Paul in one of the years, because there's a likeness a little between Brian Warner, who is Marilyn Manson, and him. I like, there's an age difference. One guy is a young man, the other guy is a middle-aged young man. Like he's in his mid-20s. The age doesn't match.
Nope.
I mean, people have their theories with movies. I mean, the worst theory to me in movies was in John Carpenter's The Thing. People said like that Childs was the thing because he wasn't breathing. I thought, yes, he is. Look closely. There's breath coming out. And then like McGreedy gets gasoline, pours it inside the bottle while he drinks it. When do you have time to do that? So you mean if Childs is sure McGreedy's gonna drink gasoline? Where do you get these theories from?
Yeah, and yeah, and I even heard one fan theory like that went that James Bond 007 actually was just like a code name, which I think that that would explain why there's all of like these different actors who have played James Bond.
To me, I just see it as okay. There are new chapters in the series, and then you got a new James Bond. You got a new James. This is just to keep the series going. They're in the series, but they're not connected. It's just a different series with different actors because they're. I don't see them as just as being connected. Even though I think the character M was inside the films with Pierce Brosnan. I think. I mean, I haven't really seen much of the Pierce Brosnan one. I'm more of the fan of the Daniel Craig. Well, at least the first two. Because no, only not the first two. The first one, yes, I was not a fan of Quantum of Solace. That film sucked. Skyfall, I like. I like Skyfall and Casino Royale. But Quantum of Solace, nope. Spectrum had potential, but nope. And what was that last one? No,
Uh,
something about a time, no time to die, something like
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
That sucked. You wasted years, and that sucked. And man, they should have just stopped at Skyfall. Sorry, they should have stopped at Skyfall.
But yeah, but James Bond's a big name franchise, and
They're gonna make more.
and when he talks,
Yeah, they're gonna make more. But if you're gonna make more, I just say for me, they should have stuck with that with the Daniel Craig films because it just went crazy after that. It just didn't have to keep relying the story. It's just like, okay, you got Daniel Craig, let him do something. But you know what? But these films will never die. These films never die. Even if they made no James Bond film, James Bond's a legend. But they're gonna make another one. It's just not with Daniel Craig because saw the last one, then you already know why there's no Daniel Craig.
yeah, and Daniel Craig even said that he's done being James Bond. Mostly it's because of his age, and yeah, and he was saying that for the majority of his stunts, they actually had to use like a double to get all that done. And I mean, Daniel Craig was Bond
Oh man, think you can hear me? Maybe we cut off.
since 2006.
2006.
Okay, I have no idea what happened.
I was like, what happened?
Yeah, probably the connection. But yeah, a lot of people have a thrown out idea for the new Bond. Like, there were some people who were saying like that Henry Cavill should be Bond, or people saying Elba should be Bond. If you had to cast the next Bond, who would you cast?
That's a good question. And to be honest, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, all I just say to me is if they make a Bond, please make it rated R. Make it R. We need to go all the way. No more PG-13. You need to go all the way because to me, if you gotta have an idea like Bond, like that, with this guy who goes around, he's an agent. He'll steal your women and he'll make out with them. He's got to go all the way. And I think sometimes you just got to go with us. Like, for instance, when they did the Wolverine movies, I say they should make an R-rated Wolverine film, which they did, of course, Logan. And Logan is the best, still to me, the best Wolverine movie. As much as I like Deadpool and Wolverine, I think still that was the better film. So, but I do like Deadpool Wolverine. I think it was awful, awesome. The same way when they did Joker. I said, please don't let this be PG-13. Please don't let this be PG-13. It's not a Batman film. Please let me. And what? It was rated R. And that film became the first film to cross $1 billion and was the number one R-rated film of all time until Deadpool Wolverine came out. But either regards of that, that film will always be the first R-rated film to make $1 billion. So that's going to be taken away. Although I am skeptical about part two because Joker didn't need a part two. It's like the idea. Joker was supposed to be a one and done. I got okay, no more. The ending was perfect. Now you got part two coming out. I'm like, oh, making a musical. I'm still gonna see it. I'm still gonna see it, but I'm just really skeptical because you can tell when you look at Joker, there was never supposed to be a part two. Even director Todd Phillips said there was no part two. But when that film made that money, Warner's like, please make another film. We need more cash.
Yeah, and I mean, WB saw all that money that they were making, and then like they thought, hey, we could definitely make more money off of this, and yeah, I'm not surprised like that they brought. I'm also not surprised knowing like that they brought in Harley Quinn, considering that Harley Quinn is definitely a pretty popular character.
Yeah, she's been popular ever since the day she came out. Everybody's like, say, who's this character? And I think she was supposed to be in the anime series for like maybe an episode two, but she got so popular they had to brought it back in and he made her Joker's girlfriend. And you know, I think Lady Gaga could pull it off in this version of Liquid because she's a great actress, as much as well she's a great singer. But it's just that it to me it just didn't need a part two. It's the film. These Warner had no faith in that film anyway because they gave it a low budget compared to how movies are these days, like $100 million. No, this film costs only 55, but 55 and you make $1.07 billion. That's super big profit. This film now costs 200, so this film has to make $1 billion.
Yeah, and I mean, let's just hope that all their marketing works like are going to help like butts in the seats, knowing that they're paying that much more money for it.
Exactly.
And I know ultimately it does go to show like that there definitely is a market for our films.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But then also 2 weeks from now, a clown movie I am excited to see because I'm a fan of the other two, Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. I got my ticket already for it. I'm gonna see it on the first day, the evening on October 11th, which I think that's also Texas Chainsaw Massacre anniversary day, something like that. They don't open. Huh?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it's possible that it might be on the same day as TCM anniversary, but just gotta see.
Yeah, but I gonna see Terrifier, and because part 1, 2 are awesome movies, and I also met Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton last year at Abracadabra.
Nice.
Signed autographs, and I got a picture with them, and yeah, it's just funny we see David Howard Thornton. This is a guy who plays a very evil clown who kills people in very sick ways. That if you told me if I gotta get killed by Michael Myers, that guy, come on, Michael, come get me.
Oh yeah, certainly.
But the man who plays him is a kick-ass person. It's like it's day and night. Like, okay, you got this guy playing this, but usually the people who play the villains in the horror films, in real life, they're good people.
Exactly, yeah, and I mean, they are just the complete opposite, like of the characters, like who they play in their films.
Exactly. So you see these people who slaughter people in brutal ways, but then when you meet them, they're like very, very cool. Not just to the fans, but also to see kids. I think it's funny how Heart the Clown is a very, very nasty killer. And you think parents let their kids watch that. When I go to convention, I see them like 8-year-olds, even less than that, dressing up as this guy. They're like, so that means your kids will watch this movie. See, nobody knows family entertainment is. Family entertainment could be that film. It depends on the family. Nobody can say family friendly. Okay, I consider Terrified to be family friendly. My kids are desensitized to it. So nobody knows what family friendly is. Only the family knows what's family friendly. So, I mean, I'm not saying that kids that the family should tell the kids to go watch some dirty X-rated movies. No, that's not family friendly. That's just
Yeah, and I mean, ultimately, it just depends on the values of the family. I also say that it depends on the sensitivities of like the kid itself. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, it just really varies on the circumstances at hand.
Exactly. So, if when I was growing up watching movies or playing games like Mortal Kombat, my parents were going like, "Do you know the difference between make believe and fiction?" And we said, "Yeah, we know that's not real. We're not going to become killers like that." So they let us watch it. Yeah, we went through some pretty nasty ones. Like I said, with Day to Day, when we saw happened to Captain Rhodes, that's like, oh, damn. The film that I was actually scared to watch for years was The Blob, the
Hmm.
original. I was like, the man started like, no. And then the remake comes out. I was like, hell no. But that's how I conquered my fear. I watched the worst one. I watched the worst one before I watched the regular one. And I said, oh, this feels awesome. I'm going to watch the original. I conquered my fear because of that. I said, okay, let's go. Let me watch that. So,
Yep.
yeah, the Blob. That's the thing about remakes, how they were back then. We had remakes like The Blob, The Fly, Not Living Dead, Scarface. They were remakes, but they were done with passion. A person would tell just how they want to retell it. Now it's like, oh, it's a cash grab. Just slap anything. We got the character. So, it's like, no. You can always retell a story, but you gotta do like, okay, because it's a famous IP, and you can just give any story that people want. People are like, okay, we'll watch it. No, that's why some of these remakes suck these days because it's not about the passion; it's about the money, and that's what makes it feel terrible. The Fly was not about making it for money. Neither was The Thing. Neither was of the Blob. Neither was Scarface. They were about people who wanted to retell a story of a famous IP. Now it's like, hey, money, because you look at the Nightmare Street remake, you just see money. That's not the idea. That's it's money. Ghostbusters, money. And now the Exorcist Believer, money. Even though it's not remake, that's sequel reboot, but money. And that's what these things say. Sequel reboots too also. Money. Where's the passion? A movie cannot be done unless it has a passion to it, not just dollar bills. That's why these fans get upset. I can't blame them.
Oh yeah, certainly. Well, I think that just about does there. Is there any project you are doing like that you would want my audience to be aware of?
Um, I'm working on trying to get the Sid Reapers done. Me and my older brother are gonna do our best to promote the Five Pumpkin story. We already have a video idea. We're also trying to make T-shirts and stuff. So you know, T-shirts are a good way to promote stuff in.
Oh yeah,
But I have a question of
certainly.
shirt as well. I got ideas of to do that. It's just I got so many ideas. It's doing is I just you gotta find the right people to help you. Those who believe in you, make a budget because I don't want to spend all the money myself. I'll be like I'm broke.
Oh yeah, and I mean, what I definitely would recommend doing is to check out like a bunch of like film grants in your area. I definitely would do that, and and I mean, you just gotta believe in yourself because no one will believe in you until you believe in yourself.
No, that's true. That's why I want to go out to places more and just because sometimes you can't just rely on social media. Now, how do you think people filmmakers make films out there? They went out there. They were like, they taught this person. They went to events. They went to festivals. So I'm gonna do that more often. I'm still gonna keep seeing social media. I'm not gonna go like, screw that. You gotta try every little thing. Your friends, strangers. So I'm gonna be more on that starting next month when I do the promotion of the Five Pumpkins and keep going on next year because I'm gonna make a lot of sacrifices because I'm not done with the Sid Reapers. I'm not done what I want to do. Neither is my older brother Matthew. We're gonna still keep Forte Films alive, and we're gonna make sure business and everything else. We'll see. We'll see how everything goes. It's not the end. It's gonna be a new beginning, and I hope the Five Pumpkins get out there also.
Yeah, man. Well, but yeah, I can certainly leave a link in the description down below to the Sin Reapers on YouTube and everything else you've
Thanks.
done. And yeah, and the same thing for like your Instagram so that people can follow you. And yeah, and I definitely really want to thank you like for taking time out of your day.
Hey, I'm glad you invited me because it's been a long time since, well, not super long time, but it's good that being seeing someone else who actually wants to interview me, talk about what I do, and just not just that, because it's also good talking horror and just movies in general. With anybody, and I'm glad that you got me here, Eric. I'm really proud.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Certainly, and I certainly would not be against have you back on.
Hey, anytime you want to talk, anytime you want to talk about something, and if you just let me, if I had time to promote something, I'd like to share it on you with everybody else. But I'm not done, and trying to bring up more horror and just the whole horror community could just be together, just going work together, help other people out.
Yeah, man. Of course. All right. Well, that about does it. So you all have a fantastic day.
You too. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. See ya.
Yeah.